9 days earlier, his hands were steady. By the time they dragged him onto the scaffold, he could barely hold his own weight. The rope scratches when they pull it tight. It sits wrong against your throat because your shoulders don't align anymore. One of them never set properly after the rack. Every movement grinds something deep and electric down your arm, and you cannot fully feel your left hand. It hangs there, obedient but distant. The crowd smells like damp woolen breath. They are closer than you expected, faces tipped upward, waiting. You haven't slept. Not properly. Every time your body surrenders, pain drags you back up. Your wrists are still swollen where the irons rub skin raw, and when the executioner adjusts the knot behind your ear, your knees nearly buckle. Not from fear, but from the way your ribs pull against muscle that was stretched too far too many times. The cart beneath your boots shifts slightly. You test your weight. The sky is pale and thin. It doesn't look like a day meant for spectacle, but that has never stopped one before. Someone in the crowd laughs. Not cruelly, just excited. Your tongue runs across cracked teeth. There's a taste you can't get rid of. Old blood and something metallic that settled in your throat days ago and never left. When you swallow, it burns. They think you will choke for them. They think you will kick. They think you will last long enough for the rest. Your neck still aches where they forced your head back during questioning. You remember the ceiling of that room. You remember the ropes. You remember the slow lift from the floor and the moment your shoulders stopped feeling attached to you. After that, everything came in waves. Pressure, darkness, waking, pressure again. Your name doesn't look like your name anymore. The executioner steps back. The cart creaks again. There's a murmur spreading through the crowd now, the kind that builds when something is about to happen. Your boots are steady. You don't wait. You bend your knees and throw yourself forward before the cart is fully taken from under you. Not backward, not downward, forward, hard. The rope snaps tight. There is a sound, deep and internal. That does not belong to the morning. The world flashes white, then contracts into a thin tunnel. Your jaw slams shut. Your vision fractures. For half a second, your body convulses against the rope, not choking, jerking. Something shifts at the base of your skull. Not a snap, not clean, a rupture. The crowd makes a different sound now. Not excitement, confusion. Your body twitches again, once violently. Your shoulder tears in protest. The ground tilts sideways, and your sight fills with sky. You are not kicking. You are not gasping. You are not performing. The rope holds you at an angle that feels incorrect. Your hands don't respond. Your lungs are working, but they don't feel like yours. Below you, someone shouts. The executioner moves quickly now. You try to take it from them. You are not sure if you succeeded, and then the rope slackens. You hit the ground hard, not dead, not cleanly gone, just stunned. Your neck burns, but not in the way you hoped. It feels wrong, twisted, alive. Hands are on you immediately. Someone curses. Someone laughs again, but it's sharper now, nervous. You hear the executioner say something about finishing it properly, and boots scrape against wood as they drag you toward the block. Your legs do not cooperate. You try to move them, and they respond late, sluggish, as if someone else is sending the signals. The crowd has gone from entertained to attentive. They lean forward now. This is better than choking. You feel the air against your throat, where the rope stripped skin. When you swallow, it catches. There's a wetness under your collar that wasn't there before. They haul you upright. Your shoulder screams. The one that never set. The one that slipped loose under the rack and was pushed back without care. When they pull your arms behind you, Something inside grinds again, and your vision flares white at the edges. You are still breathing. That is the problem. They force you toward the block, meant for the next part. You see it, only briefly. The dark wood, worn smooth in places, stained darker in others. You know what comes next, without needing it described. You've heard it through walls. You've heard men beg against it. You do not beg. They push you down. Your cheek meets cold timber. It smells faintly sweet and metallic, layered with years of repetition. Your breath fogs against the surface. Your neck does not want to bend this way. Something in it protests sharply, like wire pulled too tight. Someone in the crowd shouts your name. Not kindly. They hold your arms flat. Your fingers twitch uselessly against the grain of the wood. You feel splinters press into skin, already split at the knuckles from iron restraints. There is a pause. Not mercy. Procedure. The executioner kneels behind you, adjusting something. You hear the scrape of blade against stone. Not theatrically loud. Just maintenance. Routine. Your body trembles once, involuntarily. You remember the ceiling of the tower, the slow lift from the rack, the moment your joints separated just enough to make your arms feel borrowed. They asked for names. You gave them silence until silence was no longer an option. Your signature, when it finally came, looked like it belonged to a dying man. It did. The blade touches the back of your thigh first, testing placement. You feel it, every inch of it. There is no ceremony to this, no grand speech. The crowd murmurs in anticipation, as if waiting for a curtain to rise. Your neck throbs where you try to take control. You wonder briefly if you miscalculated the angle, if you jumped too early, if your spine held out of spite. The executioner says something low that you don't catch. Then, pain. It is not sharp at first. It is pressure. A slicing pressure that becomes heat and then becomes something so bright it erases sound. Your body reacts before thought can form. Your chest arches against the block. Your mouth opens, but what comes out does not resemble a word. The crowd surges. You feel hands holding you down harder now. Your lungs fight to draw air between waves of something that feels like fire spreading beneath your ribs. There is movement behind you, a wet, deliberate movement. You are very aware now of the parts of you that are still alive. Someone lifts something from your body and shows it to the crowd. The reaction is immediate. You cannot see it, but you know. Your fingers curl against the wood. Your jaw trembles. Your eyes blur, not from tears, but from shock clawing through your spine. This is not quick. This was never meant to be quick. And you understand too late that the jump was only the first attempt to escape what they truly intended. The pain does not plateau. It spreads. You feel it bloom outward from your abdomen, hot and invasive, as if something inside you has been opened and refuses to close. Your chest convulses against the block. Your throat tries to scream again, but the sound fractures halfway out. Hands press harder into your shoulders. The executioner works methodically. No rush, no hesitation. The blade moves with the confidence of repetition. You feel tugging now, not slicing, an intrusive pulling sensation that makes your vision pulse and dim. The crowd reacts in waves. There is a gasp when something is lifted, a cheer when it is held higher. You cannot see it, but the change in the air tells you enough. Your body recognizes absence. Something that belonged inside you is no longer there. Your fingers go numb first. The cold arrives next. Not in the air inside. A hollow cold spreading beneath your ribs, where warmth used to anchor you. Your breath shortens, erratic. You are aware of your heartbeat because it feels misplaced, like it's striking against open space. They do not stop. A hand grips your hair and forces your head slightly upward. The movement sends a sharp electric line down your spine, your damaged neck protesting the angle. You taste blood again, fresh this time. The blade shifts position. There is a brief pause, a recalculation. You understand what is coming before it happens. You try to move. Your body does not obey. The cut is cleaner this time, a decisive pressure across the throat that feels at first like heat and then like release. Sound becomes distant, as if you are submerged in thick water. The crowd noise dulls, warps. Your jaw slackens. Something warm runs along your collarbone. Your thoughts do not stop instantly. That is the most surprising part. There is still awareness, brief flickering of weight being lifted from you, of hands repositioning what remains, of your body being treated as an object now rather than an opponent. The world tilts sideways again. You feel nothing below your shoulders. There is no more pain. There is only pressure fading into something thin and far away. But they are not finished. You sense movement around what used to be you, the heavy, deliberate work of division. Limbs separated with efficient strokes. Fabric cut away. Bone meeting steel. The rhythm of it steady, almost practical. The crowd is louder now. You hear your name shouted again, but it doesn't land the same way. It feels detached, as if they are calling for someone who has already stepped aside. Your head is lifted. There is a rush of air against your face, different from before, higher, colder. You see sky at an angle that makes no sense. The executioner turns you outward toward them. For a moment, just one, the crowd goes quiet. They are looking at you. Not the idea of you. Not the plot. Not the barrels beneath Parliament. You. Then the roar returns. Your vision flickers at the edges. Shapes blur. Faces dissolve into color and movement. Somewhere below, what remains of your body is being arranged for the final display. Pieces assigned to different corners of the kingdom. This is the part meant to linger. This is the warning. The hands holding you steady feel less solid now. Or maybe you do. The sky drains of color. The sound narrows into a thin, ringing thread. And then, nothing. The body does not belong to you anymore. It is moved in pieces. What remains of your torso is dragged from the block and laid flat, while assistants work quickly, efficiently, separating what is left into parts that can be transported. There is no ceremony in it, only division. Steel meeting bone with dull, practiced force. Fabric peeled back, flesh opened further than necessary. The crowd does not leave. They press closer. Some stand on barrels. Others lift children to see over shoulders. The earlier confusion has settled into fascination. They did not get the slow strangling they expected. They got something cleaner, faster. And now they are getting the rest. Your head is lowered briefly while preparations continue below. You cannot see your body from this angle, but you hear the rhythm of it chop, crack, shift. Someone wipes a blade against cloth. Someone else laughs under his breath. The executioner adjusts his grip on your hair. Your face is lifted again. You are shown to them one final time. The noise rolls through the square in a heavy wave. Not triumph, not relief. Something more primitive. A recognition that what was meant to happen has happened. A soldier steps forward with a cloth and wipes your face once, roughly, clearing blood from your mouth, so the features are visible. Presentation matters. Below, the division finishes. Arms are separated. Legs are detached. The torso is cut into sections large enough to travel, but small enough to manage. Each piece is handled with the same detached competence as the last. There is no hurry now. The tension has broken. The crowd has already seen what they came for. Barrels are brought forward. Wooden containers, dark and unremarkable, are positioned near the scaffold. The pieces are lifted and placed inside. One for the north, one for the west, one for the south, one for display closer to home. Not explained, not announced, just done. Your head is set aside briefly while the scaffold is cleared. The straw beneath the block is darker now. A bucket of water is thrown across it, washing diluted red through cracks in the wood. The executioner scrapes his blade clean with slow, deliberate strokes, as if resetting a tool for storage. The crowd begins to thin. Some leave immediately, satisfied. Others linger, watching the final arrangements. Vendors resume shouting. Conversations restart. The morning resumes around the scaffold, as though it had simply hosted a market performance. You are lifted one last time. A tall pole waits nearby, already fixed upright. The soldier takes your head, secures it through the base, and raises it into position. The spike slides into place with an audible scrape of metal. From above, the view changes. The square is smaller now. Faces blur together. Smoke from chimneys drifts upward into pale sky. The scaffold, no longer central, begins to feel temporary. Below, the barrels are loaded onto carts. They will travel outward from here, to bridges, to gates, to corners of the kingdom where travelers pass and glance upward. Your name will hang without voice. Your face will weather. Rain will come. Birds will come. Time will come. By afternoon, the square will look ordinary again. By evening, the scaffold will be partially dismantled, the straw removed, the wood scrubbed, the space returned to daily life. There will be other men in other years who stand where you stood, who test their weight on planks and consider timing. But this morning belongs to you. The crowd has gone home. The rope has been coiled. The blade has been cleaned. And what remains of you has been distributed with careful intention. If you want more of the mornings, history doesn't soften more of the endings that were meant to be warning. Subscribe. Because this wasn't spectacle. It was instruction.